I have wandered along the bristly brambles, snagging threads across the thorns that hedge my way. If perchance I find the place where I might amble, where the bees and honey trees have called my name, I'll sing, come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. My dreams of sewing seams had been fading, and my goals of mending holes had all but died, till the moment the bewitching stitching maiden recommended that I cast my fears aside. She sang, come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. So if you find you're out of spirits, out of money, and you're walking down the dusty road alone, come with me to the realm of hope and honey. In the land of milk and thread, you'll find a home. We'll sing, come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. Come all ye stitchers, come, while away the time. Fetch the needle and the thread, see what ye may find. Thread milk.
Hi FlossTube, it's good to be back. This is Lori Wilson with threadmilkdesign. Wanted to say hi to you guys again. Sorry, it's probably been more like 5 weeks since I've made a video, and I know that's a little bit of extra time, but I had a retreat that I'm going to talk about a little bit and got some fun things to share again today. Looking forward to visiting with you all. I think I'm caught up on reading everyone's comments. Yeah, a couple came in today, but I think I was able to take care of those, and I try to let you all know that I read them just by giving you a heart in your comment. And I love reading them. They're very fun. I think it's a great way for us to all connect and to get together and watch these videos. I want to give a quick little shout out to Brenda Laura and Pam Steph. Thank you for sharing my charts with the cross stitch world. Those again are the Statehood Splendor charts. I am having an absolute blast making these and going through the history of those. I'm going to talk about those a little bit later because I've got some new ones today to give to you guys and to have up on my website again. And yes, we accomplished it. We got PDFs on the website plus the paper charts, and I am just loving it's so much fun seeing how many of you are doing them all. If you go to Instagram and you have an account, please show your progress on the Statehood Splendor charts. It's really fun, and there's some ideas that can be shared and are being shared. There's one of the friends on Instagram, I can't remember her name right now because I didn't write all of these down, but if you go to Instagram, there is a hashtag that I think Ginger Shoal started. Thank you, Ginger, you're so sweet. And it's called hashtag threadmilkdesigns with an S. We're just going to leave it like that for now, because even though I'm Thread Milk Design, it can also just be the plural of all the pictures, right? So we're going to keep it that way. So yeah, go check it out. There's a friend on there who is stitching all the Statehood Splendors on one big piece of linen. And yes, I've had a couple questions about those. They are all going to be charted 50 by 50 stitches. So if you wanted to plan it out on a great big piece, you could do so, and then count it up. I don't have it all counted up. That's going to be on you. I'm just busy making the charts right now for the little pillows. And I'm going to show really quick, just because this is already in PDF form on the website as a free chart, this little finish that I got done, but you can always go there and get the chart and just download it, put it in your cart, get it for free, or add it in with the rest of your cart and get it for free that way too. The other charts also, my husband accomplished. He's awesome. PDFs, so that people in other countries can download them and do them too. You guys are awesome. Stitch in the States from America, from the United States. That's so fun. I know there's a lot of fans out there of our history too, and I think that's wonderful. It's so sweet. So anyway, yeah, that little finish is the Liberty freebie chart pillow. And there it is. I think this is gingerbread. It is. It's on the chart. It's listed. And I think it's a Gentle Arts, but it could be Classic Colorworks. I'm not good at memorizing all those threads. This is my back. Once again, I filled it with sawdust. Like you'll see in FlossTube number 3, I talk about sawdust, and yeah, that was a long video. There's a lot of content in there. I know and hope you guys enjoy those long ones. You know, if it gets a little long, you can pause it, come back later. But I do apologize, that one got really long. Anyway, talked about sawdust, different fillers, the polyester, the wools. This is sawdust again. I love that you can do sawdust and shape. Woo, shape your pillows. You can even flatten them out. I talked about flattening your pillows and steaming them last time. With sawdust, you just squish it here in the middle and look how it makes those sides flatter. So if you want to make it look a little bit more square, that's all you have to do. I'm really loving sawdust. And yes, there's that Liberty Bell. That was so fun. All right, let's move on. One little housekeeping thing. Make sure when you, not that it's a huge problem or anything, but just for helping me out, if you can put your phone numbers when you place an order on the website, make sure your email's correct, things like that. Just the only reason with the phone number is in case I have questions about your order and maybe the email isn't quite put in correctly, then I could give you a call. Haven't had a lot of that. That's just one of those little things that makes a little bit of the website business and getting orders out a little bit easier, so that'd be great. Also, let's see, I want to thank Brenda and Laura and Pam and Steph for showing those statehood charts again. They are so awesome. I really appreciate you guys and everybody else who's been helping me out along the way and sharing all these things on YouTube and FlossTube. This is a great little family we belong to, and I'm just having so much fun with it. All right, I'm going to talk really quick. And did I have something to show you from that? Not today, but I will tell you, I did mention that I had a retreat. Oh, and last month I was super eventful with Thread Milk. We had a whole bunch of problems with the latest printout of the new milk caps that are being printed here in Utah, but it's resolved. All the orders went out. You guys were so patient. Just want to thank you for your patience on that. And we did get them all out and all accomplished. That was awesome. The printer got everything just perfect. So that was an eventful month. But in between all of that, while I was waiting for the new printout to be finished and done right side up, I had a retreat. That's one of those things that's scheduled. You just got to go to. There was nothing else I could do with orders until I got back and picked up those new milk caps. And I apologize once again for that delay. But the retreat was so fun. Had some stitchy time with some friends, some quilting, some knitting, some cross stitch. We talked about all kinds of things. It was basically just like having a whole bunch of sisters or cousins or whatever together and doing those things that we all enjoy so much. One really fun story about retreat that is near and dear to my heart is one night we were all sitting around talking. We just had dinner, and this was all at my cute friend Sandy's house. She's so gracious to have us all up there and let us all just have a great time, eat really good food. And stitch together. So after dinner this one night, we were sitting around the table, and I said, you guys, you know, it's so funny. We have all this common ground. We're so much alike. We love to stitch. Our goals in life are a lot the same. Our trials in life are a lot the same. But I said, okay, because we're all kind of from this northern Utah area. Some of us grew up in California. A couple of the ladies who were there, one of them's my sister-in-law. Another one is a good friend from the area that my husband and the sister-in-law grew up with in California, and others had lived in California. So we kind of have this fun kind of small world history together. And I said, you guys, so because we have all this common roots or, you know, stuff going on, what if we pulled up, let's just see if we're related. Let's do the relative link app. And I think it's called Find a Relative. You can put the app on your phone, and everybody else who is there, if they put it on their phone, through Family Search, and I think it's just Family Search, but it might be Ancestry also, Ancestry.com. So Pam, you know, you're gonna like this little story of Pam and Steph. So anyway, we all got it on our phones pretty much. Maybe like one or two didn't, but or we were struggling, but two ladies had already left too, so we didn't get to do them. But those of us that were left all put down Find a Relative, you know, in the app, selected the person, the app finds that person that you're sitting in the room with and is able to look up their family tree and compare it to your family tree. And the funnest thing happened. Okay, so I've told you guys before in FlossTube number 1, I think it was, I showed you that quilt that is my grandma Miller's, who possibly were Amish, came through Pennsylvania back in the early 1800s. And it was the 3 tulips, and I put it in the shadow box. If you haven't watched that one, go back and watch it. But the grandma that made that quilt, so she's my dad's mom, she popped up on every person at the retreat who had the app, and we did it together, as the connecting relative for all of us. It was so cool. So Grandma Ellen Dunn, Ellen Dunn Miller, that was her married name. I felt like she was there with us in the room, watching us all stitch, have common ground. This grandma also is the one that quilted, the one that knitted and crocheted, and I think she did some embroidery too, but I'm not sure. I can't remember that part, but she tatted beautifully. Sometime when I have all my goods out of storage, I'll show you some of the tatted doilies. So this Grandma Miller, also, I just have to share this really quick. She had a tradition with all of her granddaughters that when you turned 8, you got a shawl. And when we turned 12, I believe, or 16, 14, somewhere in those early teen years, we got an Afghan that she made. She made the shawl, then she made us an Afghan, so our birthdays were kind of a big deal to her. The Afghan, we got to pick our colors, and that's in storage too. I'll show you all these things someday because they're so, I've got them all. They're so special to me. So my Afghan, I chose pink. So it's like 3 or 4 different variations of pink, and I think a cream mixed in. It's beautiful. They're in my cedar chest, being very well cared for in my storage bay. The other thing was when we graduated from high school, we got to go pick out some doilies, and she tatted them, and they're beautiful. She was a perfect tatter in my mind. I think they're perfect. So we got to pick out like 4 or 5, I think, beautiful doilies. In fact, I have one on my bookshelf, but when I show those other things from Grandma Miller, I'll show those all at the same time. Anyway, how cool is that? We're all related through Grandma Ellen Miller, Ellen Dunn Miller. cool story. Now, it went back about 7 generations for most of us, coming from England. Some pioneers that came from England and settled in the Utah area. That was a very, very fun, very special story. Anyway, something fun to do at retreat, right? When you're all together, see if you're related. It's kind of like those stories in from Plymouth Rock, when you go and do your genealogy or go see all of the relatives that came over on the Mayflower, and it's all there, and you know, you can see if you came from anyone there on the Plymouth, or sorry, the Mayflower ship. So yeah, genealogy is fascinating. It's very fun, and usually a very small world. Okay, on to, let's see, oh, I have a correction to make. Last time I was saying that the Blackbird quilt along with Olivia B was Lori Mischievous Stitches. I got that wrong. It's Lori Textilist. I just want to apologize for that. So you can go find her, Lori Textilist, on YouTube, and she's a very sweet girl, and she is showing some really cool Blackbird design quilting stuff. Her and Olivia B. I love Olivia B too. She's very, very fun. Okay, next, let's see. I'm gonna move right into knitting really quick. It's gonna be very short, and then I've got some really fun cross stitch to go into. I'm even gonna show a little bit of haul today. I don't really like showing my haul that much, but there's some things I think that you will find very fun. All right, knitting. So remember last couple videos, I've shown different products that my friend Clyde and his wife Brenda are making in their little wood shop over here in Mapleton. Those are on my website now. You can get the acorns, the large and the small, and the beehive spool holder that is so darling. And I'm having Clyde do something special on the large acorn. In fact, I've got an order for one right now, but before I shipped it out, I wanted to make sure that a certain pair of scissors could fit inside of it. In fact, I forgot to lay that out here. Let me grab it. Hold, please. Okay, and I'll just grab the little one one more time just to show you guys what it looks like. So this is the little one, and it pops open. Has a nice little pop on it. Anyway, you can store these little clips, you know, little doodads in it. I also did discover that well, I'm not as prepared as I thought on this acorn thing, because I forgot I was going to show it. Let me show you one more thing about this. Okay, so binder clips, or what are these called? Wonder clips. You can use them for binding or when you're sewing and you're holding things together, and they're about this big. They're really awesome. See how big they are? So one of those was put into here, and it fit with some pins on a little piece of wool and a thimble. But I thought, what if you want more than just one? Because a lot of times when you're binding or whatever, you want to do 2 or 3. So I ordered on Amazon these little mini binder clips. This is just, sorry, Wonder clips. This is the regular size one. There's a jumbo one that's quite a bit bigger. And then there's these, which are the mini Wonder clips. And I experimented with this a couple weeks ago when I got them. What I found out is that you can take these little mini ones, and here's the size comparison, okay, to those. They're the same length, but not the same width. So this is the mini, this is the just basic Wonder clip. I use these for making project bags like crazy, So anyway, what I figured out once I got the minis was that 3 minis fit fit inside the acorn. So if you're going to be on the go or you're going to go to another retreat, it's always good to have some mini binder clips. Oh, in fact, that just reminded me. I'm so excited. I signed up and made it in to go to the attic retreat, and that is coming up this week. Oh, I can't wait to get there and meet people, talk to people, meet all these wonderful people that I've met through the website, through YouTube, through Instagram. Can't wait. Sherry, Colorado cross stitcher, we've met, but are very looking forward to meeting up again at the attic. I hope I get to meet Brenda and Laura, because she's just, I can't wait to meet everybody there. So anyway, I think I'll take an acorn with me and have it sitting on my little stitchy spot, because you might need a little 2 or 3 mini binder clips. So yes, 3 mini binder clips fit in this small acorn. Now, here's another thing I experimented with. So one of my friends a while back gave me a little teeny tiny pair of scissors, and they're those little plastic ones that have the pads on the, here's a basic one. This one came from Laundry Basket Quilts, Edita Sitar's website, and they are darling. They are made in Japan, and they come in this little leather sheath that you pull off. And by pads, I mean like these little round pads, right, that you can just put your little fingers on and clip threads, snip away while you're stitching, right? Now on her website, they come with different colored tassels. I got the gold because I thought they went way cute with the acorn. So I went to Clyde and I said, Clyde, is there a way we can make the hole, this big hole, a little bit deeper to fit these scissors in? Because I want people to be able to put a pair of scissors in their big acorn, because you gotta have a little pair of scissors, right? I'll take this to retreat too and have it on my table. So he said, well, and I said, oh, and you gotta be able to pull the scissors out. This hole is small enough, you can't really like get both your finger and your thumb in all the way in there to pull the scissors out. So he said, okay, well, what if we do this? What if we keep that hole the same, but I burrow a hole in the lid so that whatever's sticking out up here, there's room for it, and the lid still goes on. So you guys, your big acorns that you order on my website will fit one of these little pairs of scissors in it. Now you don't have to get the one from Laundry Basket Quilts. It just happens to be the one that's brown and matches the acorn. It's darling, right? You can also go onto Amazon and get this same little type pair of scissors in different colors, like pink and red and blue and green and yellow. I think there's all kinds of colors. Basically the same size. I think it has a little black cording that goes through this hole here on the end. So there's no tassel on it, but look for those on Amazon. Clyde has my sample of that because he's using it for his measurement stick, basically for how deep to burrow out this hole in the middle so that these little scissors will fit. So let me show that to you one more time. How cute these are. So they fit in the little big hole, and these smaller holes once again are for needles, if you want to put needles in them. So here you go. And pop it in place. And there is that beautiful piece of wood. Mini binder clips, a little pair of scissors sitting in your stitchy spot. So cute, so beautiful. Okay, let me get these out of the way. so I don't drop them again like I did last video on the floor. Okay. So yes, that. Oh, I was talking about knitting. Oh yes, and Clyde. So that's the latest from Clyde. Here's the other thing from Clyde. When I went to go visit him, he had several things sitting out. He makes cars, airplanes, cutest little toys for kids. He makes a ton of stuff. But this was sitting on the table, and I was like, you make knitting bowls? Have you guys seen these before, you knitters? Look how gorgeous this is. This is the large one. And of course I've got some knitting sitting in it. It's the only project I'm going to talk about today. But the large one fits a really nice big DK or the large, you know, balls of yarn. The Aran weight worsted, usually, you know, that you get from the yarn store, where there's like 400 or 500 meters or yards on them. They'll fit in this after they get wound up into the ball. And then you sit this on the floor at the bottom of your chair, your soft spot that you're knitting in, and put the ball of yarn in it. And then bring the end of the yarn up through here, and it just holds that ball in place beautifully right on your floor. This large one has a really cool stripe of a different kind of wood. He laminates these together. Oh, and just finishes them wonderfully. He puts Danish oil on them as one of the coats of finish he puts on. Oh, anyway, it takes some time. They're beautiful. They're not cheap, but they are beautiful. And I've already tried them out. They work beautifully. So what project do I have sitting in those? Those are not on my website yet, but they will be very soon. Watch for those. I'll send out a quick little Instagram post and newsletter. That's usually what I have been doing. From those who subscribe to my newsletter or are in my system from placing orders, I will send you an update saying what new items are there on the website. Okay, latest project. Real quick. So I went up to Knit and Pretty because I made a mistake in my shawl and needed help, because I always do. And at retreat that I went to, Sandy was passing around this pattern. Amy was working on it, I think. But look at those dish rags. They're houses. So while I was at Knit and Pretty getting help, I bought 3 balls of yarn that I thought would be such cute dish rags. And all I can think is they need to be hung on a rake in a bathroom. It'd be so cute. So I did start one. I think I forgot to yarn over on one. It's the only hard part about those is just getting through those rows of houses, and then the rest of it's knit and pearls. Beautiful. And where did I get this? From the patterns by KnitsDuNord, and she is on Ravelry. So check her out if you want a quick little project. My friend Sandy said that she had given them away as gifts last year, sorry, at Christmas time, Thanksgiving. If you're going to someone's house for Thanksgiving, what a cute gift, right? What a cute hostess gift. All right, knitting done. Now let's move on. I have some finishes you guys are gonna like. You probably saw them, pictures of them in the preview with the music. But here they are for a little bit of a longer look. First of all, one wool project. So I joined the I can't remember what it's called because it's not listed on here, but the Maggie Bononomy through Primitive Gatherings. I'll put it in the drop down box. I try to do a really good drop down box for you guys. Sometimes I still make mistakes, but I'll try to correct them in the drop down box. But these are the wool seasons. There's 4 of them. I got spring, haven't touched it yet. Got the summer one, and had to do it because my red, white, and blue love, right? So here it is, all finished. Now, I have been doing wool for quite a few years. My friend Amy McClellan of Under the Garden Moon is going to be here next time in the next video. We're going to talk about some of her wool patterns and stitching things that she has going on and just how awesome they are. But here it is. Now, you'll notice there's this little brown edge over here. I'll tell you about that in a second. I happened to get a background piece in my kit that had wool selvage on it. And see how the selvage comes? It's so cool on wool. And maybe some of you don't. I'll show you why that's so cool. I'll explain that in a minute. So the scallops that I did, I put this one all the way to the edge, but this one I wanted that selvage to show because it's just a really cool part of wool. So there you go. And this is a new way of doing wool applique for me because of the polyester thread that comes with this kit, or with the kits. We got it in the springtime kit. And Carol of Saltbox Stitcher has a great tutorial on how to do this. She also included one from Maggie Benonomy that is wonderful. It's a very quick stitch. It's like in cross stitch we do the sewing method, so we're just stitching from the top. That's how you stitch this, is from the top. I'm used to stabbing with wool where you watch your whip stitches and you do all this decorative thread, which is beautiful. It turns out wonderful, and I do a lot of Stacy Nash pattern, or sorry, Stacy West of Buttermilk Basin patterns that way, and I've been doing the fusible stuff, and they're darling and they're cute, but they take more time, and you have to go through that, you know, fused layer with your needle. My needles don't get sticky. I learned a while back if you just heat set it a lot longer, then that sticky doesn't get on your needles. But regardless, even if it does, sometimes I still love how it turns out. Like this sheep over here that I've shown before, that's a Buttermilk Basin fused little blanket on the sheep, and I love them. And this little guy right here, I've fused all of these too. I'll show you those closer next time when I do more of a wool video next time. Okay, let's get my camera put back straight here. Sorry about that. So anyway, I love this method. I loved sitting out on my bar in my kitchen and didn't move it until it was done. And I love it. And I love her style, her very, very primitive style. Okay, other finishes. So remember a while back I told you guys, maybe in FlossTube number 1, I have this box of finished linen projects. I'm going to show you that today, but first I'm going to show you some fully finished projects that were in that box. Oh, but I was able for the first time in my cross stitch life, besides having someone make frames for me and then me mounting the cross stitches or the pieces I wanted in there, or having my husband make the frames, I went to Jamie at Craft Center of Fine Stitchery and had her do some for me. So these are my first fully professionally framed pieces, and I love how they turned out. She does such a great job with her hanger. She puts the felt pads on the corners. They turned out beautiful. So this is Suffragette from Little House Needleworks that I did last summer. And I changed just a little bit here, a little bit of the stars, and put on here over one by my hand, my initials, in 2020. This is what I was obsessed with. I had to finish it in 2020 because of the anniversary of giving women the right to vote. Now this is the, national year for women's rights to vote, but in some states before this, like Wyoming, like I mentioned last time, they could vote in Wyoming before here. So it just depended on where you lived, and that was just in the state elections. Oh, but I love how this turned out. Look at that cute little frame with what looks like inlaid beading, but it's not. It's just part of the frame that she has. Darling, darling frame. Yeah, I really like that one. All right, here's another one. Woo! Woo, dropping stuff. Okay, here is a Brenda Gervais. I got this kitted quite a while ago, I think from her, from Country Stitches online. And the pomegranates came with a kitted Valdani, kind of more orange pomegranate. I wanted a more red, so I just switched out that one color. But this is hers. And I love the frame. You want a close-up of that, maybe? Isn't she cute? And I love these eagles on there too. Everything about this. Now, this is back when I was letting my hair start to go gray, so I gave her some gray hair too. Fun, right? Okay. Last one is my little houses. Remember, this is the one from FlossTube number 1 or number 2, I can't remember, probably 1, where I showed the finish and how I copied Vanna Pfeiffer's not putting the borders around each square. So all the houses are just a cute neighborhood without fences, without borders. And there's the frame I chose. I don't know if you can see it really well, but the depth of it is just beautiful, and the little grain look in here, and again that little bit of gold beading on the inside. Sorry if I'm not holding that up. There's the whole thing. So yeah, so cute. All right, wool salvages. Back to that. Here's why I think wool salvages are so cool. So back in about 2013 or 14, when we lived in Louisiana, my friend Amy from Under the Garden Moon was going to Houston to the International Quilt Festival, and I think it was her first time there as a vendor. And she asked if I could come from Louisiana to work in the booth with her. And then I had a friend, Jen, in Houston, who also came to work per Amy's request. And we had a blast. It was really fun. And of course, Amy gave us time out to go shop one afternoon and just look around as, you know, fast as we could kind of thing. But of course, I was mostly intrigued with the wool. We did go look at the quilt display, and that was really fun. That's probably my 3rd or 4th time. I went both years I lived in Houston, so that was probably my 3rd year to go to the Houston International Quilt Festival at the George R. Brown. It was so fun. I love it every year. But anyway, I came across this wool booth, and I wish I knew the lady's name. I don't have her card now that I think about it, but she had bags and displays of cards that were holding all different colors and different shades of different colors, salvages off wool. And she was selling the salvage, which is usually something you just throw away, right? I was dying because she had several projects there, like a little footstool. Like, she bought antique pieces of furniture, which is what I'm going to show you here in a sec, where she had made little chair pads or a padded tuft kind of thing to the top of the footstool. So here's what I did with the group of salvages that I bought from her. I bought like 2 or 3 bundles, multicolors, different pieces. I still have some because there were leftovers. But here's what I made. And I called her after I got home a few months later to say, okay, tell me how to do these, because I didn't take a picture of it and I should have. So anyway, these are individual salvages. I think she had them cut about 12 to 18 inches. You swirl them up like a cinnamon roll. And then I said, okay, and then how do I get them to, you know, she just basically over the phone told me how to trace my chair bottom in a solid piece of wool, 2 layers, because then you seam them together and turn it right side out, and then you have a nice little chair pad. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm gonna try my best to hold it up so you can see how my pattern indents here, comes around, and then I stitched 2 more salvages together on a little string and made these ties, sewed the ties into the chair pad, and then just filled it full of all of these salvage cinnamon rolls. Aren't they cute? And this is just an old antique child's chair that I found at an antique store. I don't remember when, quite a while ago. So it sits out in my living room with some project bags on it, of course, full of cross stitch. If you have more questions about that, leave it in the comments. But basically, I just gave you the tutorial on what to do when you roll those salvages into rolls. You just kind of stitch through them, you know, several different ways with thread to get them to stick. But then you glue them down to that pad, and there's a certain kind of glue. I don't have it here anymore, but it's like a glue that's more flexible. So if it doesn't dry hard and, you know, really hard, then you can use it on that chair pad. Really good project, really fun. Oh, that'd be a good class at someone's retreat. All right, moving on. So, framed finishes. All right, I'm going to show you just some finished little pillows real quick that are, you know, like pin cushions or just displays, but things that last time I talked about the sawdust, the wool, the cotton, and the polyester. This time I'm going to talk about walnut shells versus emery, and a little mix of sawdust in there, but not really. Let's not talk about sawdust, just emery. So what is emery? Emery is what's on like fingernail files, you know, like an emery board. It's kind of expensive, but you can buy a bag full of it usually somewhere online. Last time I bought it was like 5 or 6 years ago, so I don't know the source or any of that. But here's one of the finishes I made from that. So this is Scarlet House, Tanya Brockmeyer pattern, the little strawberry tree, and yeah, it is heavy because I filled it with emery. So the purpose of emery is to help sharpen your needles, right? Because it's emery, or your pins that you stick in here. I also completed the little scissor fob with it, and it has emery in it too. So see, I can't even hold it up straight, but I keep it flat. And it's so heavy, it just stays flat in my stitching basket by my chair. So one of my favorite little finishes. And yeah, the emery, I love it. It really, really is nice for a pin cushion, but it is heavy. Now here's another finish. I just finished this tonight to show you guys a strawberry finish. This is Notforgotten Farms pattern. This is what it looks like. It's called, let's see if I can read it on there, Strawberry Basket by Notforgotten Farm. You can get these on her website. So there's what the pattern looks like. There's her version, and she hung it and put a little strawberry emery on it. I'm not sure how I'll embellish this, but this little basket I got at Hobby Lobby last year in the fall section. So it's just one of those, you know, silver baskets, but it's a mini version. So this is probably like 4 by 5 or something. Here's the back of the strawberry. I filled this one with walnut shells, and I love it. It's not as heavy, but it has the same, almost the same feel as emery. Emery's very fine, very, very fine. Walnut shells, not quite as fine. So anyway, there's how that fits. Now to flatten walnut shells, also, you know, flatten it out, all you gotta do is squish on it. But it fits perfectly in this little basket. Now I stitched this on 40 count. I think it's 40 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works, and it's the old parchment, not the Zweigart parchment, but it's 40 count, and that made it fit. How cute is that? I think I changed and added one lighter red for those strawberries. This one you can see is like half and half, half light red, half dark red, and then a couple light ones. But that's the only changes I made. Other than this, I think I showed this as a whip a couple videos ago. This basket is that Valdani antique gold, I think. One of my favorite browns I've ever used. So yeah, there's that finish with walnut shells. So yes, I do use walnut shells. That was one of the questions in my last video. Just depends on how I want it to look. Let me show you one other walnut shell finish. Sorry for the up and downs today. So this one also is full of walnut shells. And because it's a little, you know, it's big, first of all, this is a big finish for walnut shells. Perfect though for a pin cushion that's just gonna lay flat. And I put plaid wool on the back, put that lace in it that I put on my Easter Brenda Gervais Jelly Bean Jubilee finishes on a couple of those. And I think this red is either pomegranate or holly berry, because the thread called for was quite orange. I just like red, but that's really cute. Okay, so this pin that's hanging on it is a James Avery pin that's no longer available, that my mother-in-law bought me back, oh, I think it's a birthday gift like 20 years ago or so. And there's room for 5 charms on it. But I have 4 kids, and so there's my husband and I, plus 4 hearts. So my husband bought me the little antique sewing machine, which I think you can still get at James Avery. It's one of their cutest little charms. So over Christmas, when I go to Lafayette with him, the last couple years I've had a job for Christmas Mass with one of the, I think it's the only Latin Christmas Mass that's held in Lafayette at the Christ is King Catholic Church down there. So I go play the organ for them for their Christmas Mass. So that usually involves the Christmas Eve Mass plus a couple rehearsals and sometimes Sunday service. I've done it for them those days too. So we hit James Avery on the way home. I think I talked about that in one of my videos, and I just finished out the charms on here. I had a the reason there's an owl is because when we lived in Illinois, I had an experience with a great big huge barn owl flying in front of my car one early morning. We were on our way to a volleyball tournament, so we called him my spirit animal. So there is he. An L, of course, for my initial. It's a cute little flower, and of course a honeybee. I hope you can focus in on that okay. Seems a little blurry. There we go. But yeah, if you're looking for a sewing machine charm, go look at James Avery. So yeah, walnut shells, and it's a little floppy. Definitely taking this to the attic for my pincushion at my sewing spot. This, I think I've shown on Instagram. I can't remember the pattern right now, but I think it's Scattered Seeds. So check her out too, Scattered Seeds. This was my 2020 getting through 2020 stitch, sewing Men's Thy Soul. Love this pin finish. Okay, so done with walnut shells. Is that the answer? I love them. I love them too. They have their purpose, and they're a great filler. All right. talk about some whips, and then I'll talk about just a little bit of haul and some updates, and we will be finished. Okay, so this is a freebie chart that came from a Kitten Stitcher order. I decided to stitch it up, this great Blackbird freebie. I decided to stitch it up on Winter's Brew 40 count, and it's turning out so cute. I am stitching it all black with Weeks Dye Works Onyx. I love it, and here's that so far. Such a cute whip. So if you want that freebie printed out for you, you can probably get it off their blog, but you can also just place an order with Kitten Stitcher and get it from her. That's where mine came from. Let's see, what was from my falls? Oh, I told you I would start stitching something on Dove Stitch, so I chose that fall leaf Dove Stitch linen. Now here's what I've noticed with Dove Stitch. It's a little on the thinner side. It's not as thick as the linens like we get from R&R. You know, some of those, but it's still stitchable and it's still fun. I haven't compared the prices, but anyway, this is my one try with that. On the fall leaves, it's kind of a gray printed fall leaf linen. I'm just using regular Blackboard by Gentle Arts thread, and I'm doing, I know I'm not supposed to flash, but it's a freebie on Notforgotten Farm, so go check that one out. Halloween, cute little pumpkin. I am finding I'm not a big gray linen stitcher. Some things belong on it for sure, like the designers have chosen, but gray is great for Halloween stitching. It's kind of smoky and very fun to stitch on for those spooky little things. All right, in my finished box, I know I said I was going to show you this today. I'm going to show you one in particular finish really quick, and then I'll show you the rest in a minute. And it'll be quick. I don't know if I'll have the charts for it. So remember Notforgotten Farm, Reverend Squashbottom. I've stitched him on my favorite, one of my favorite linens, which is Grandpa's Sleeve. You get this beautiful speckled and mottled, you know, old, dirty looking linen without having to do anything to it. This is 32 count Grandpa's Sleeve by KnitsDuNord. I got it last on Kitten Stitcher. She doesn't have any 32 right now, but she has 40, and it's a pretty, I mean, it's in my cart. I'm going to try to get some and see how it compares. But I ordered a lot last year, maybe like 2 half yards, because I loved it so much, and one of my half yards did get lost for a little bit, so she replaced it, and then it showed up, so I bought the extra half yard. So Notforgotten Farm just made a new pattern for the Reverend. He needed a spouse, and her name is Prunella, Squashbottom, and that chart is so darling. So I started her on the 32 count Grandpa's Sleeve also, and she's turning out so cute. And yes, on this 32 count I only stitch 1 over 2, and I really like it. It's very primitive looking. So that's Prunella, and the Reverend I'll keep here and get to those finishes real quick. I want to kind of highlight Notforgotten Farm for a minute. She's one of my favorite designers too. I've got some very fun things I'm either kitted, but mostly just looking at kitting for fall. So the Marion Jack bracelet, and I am going to make this into a bracelet, and I am going to wear it. I love it. The other one that I really want to finish, I think Kitten Stitcher showed this as a finish a few episodes ago, but it's called Salem. Where is the title? I can't even read it. Salem Village is all I can see. See if I can get that picture in there just right. I mean, that's got to hang, right, by the Reverend and Prunella. And then this really cute one, Nantucket Broom Ride. I think Laura has this kitted or started or purchased on Brenda and Laura, but look how cute that is. I love the upside down houses right here. That could be a Stranger Things stitch, right? The upside down. So yeah, Notforgotten Farm Thanksgiving stitch. I hope to start this one probably on Grandpa's sleeve. Thomas, that turkey. He'd look great on that also. Some other really quick little fall things I'm just going to throw in this mix. They're not whips. They're just things I bought last year or this year. I really think these are cute. Stranded Jacks by Plum Street. I might do these on that gray dust stitch linen. Sorry, itchy nose. Here's another one I pulled out from Sub Rosa that I downloaded from her Etsy shop last year. Sorry for the glare. But that one's really cute. Welcome Fall. Look how she mounted it too in this little tray so that you could put some little dry goods down there in the bottom. And then I ran across this one on eBay. It's one that I've been looking for a while. It's just the Bent Creek Pumpkin Flower Sampler. I think that's darling. And it's little. There we go. Get a focus in there. So it's just like a really teeny little fall sampler. So those are on my radar, meaning coming in, want to stitch them so bad. Here's 2 more whips, and then we'll get to that box of finishes. So this one I'm almost done with. I'm just doing the flowers at the top. This was my cross stitch camp with Sherry at Colorado Cross Stitchers project that I did not finish. I had too much going on in July. But I'm still gonna finish it. And that house, oh, with the bunting and that big red vase, it's been one of my favorite summer stitches. So hopefully I'll have that done next time. I don't even mind sewing or stitching some red, white, and blue Americana stuff during the month of November, since Thanksgiving's a national holiday. That's quite fun. Did I show this last time? I did. This is my progress on it. So this is Scarlet House Entwined Hearts. I'm going to show you in the bag because there's not very much of a finish, but it's some, whip. It's a little bit of stitching. And I did get that word right. It is Wartall, Fox and Rabbit, red linen. And I got it at the attic. So if you want to stitch it on that, it's a good one. Be very, very fun stitch. Okay, sorry, throwing stuff back and forth here at you. All right, do you want to see the box of finishes? I'll try to be quick, and I'll try to not make it fall. All right, so I think, I don't know if I showed you guys this one or not, but this is definitely going to have to be framed very soon. I think I put it on Instagram, and that was it. This is the Little House Needleworks Sheep Virtues. And I did do it all in one because Shepherd's Bush had it done this way. Let's see if I can just pull it back and show the whole thing. That's in the box. Needs to be framed. This is a great big heavy, I can't remember what this is called, but it's like 10 count or something that I stitched recently, but I kitted it quite a while ago. And I think I bought this at Pine Needles. He has a jingle bell on his hat. Gotta get that framed right away. Fix his mustache there a little bit. Okay, the rest of these are fall and Christmas. So So I'm probably going to show those next month, but I will show you this one little blackbird since it's all about blackbird right now. Last September, I decided to do a September birthday chart. This is the one that I did with my grandpa's initials and my daughter Phoebe's initials highlighted, because we all have September birthdays. So there's Albert Ellsworth Miller, Lori Miller, and then the W I just had big, and then Phoebe, my daughter Phoebe Jane. So those are a different color. I think I did this on vellum, which I believe is Picture This Plus, but I can't remember. You guys correct me if I can't get it right. But wow, that turned out cute. And this is called Bittersweet September. Goals for September, you guys. This is an actual sampler for Sampler September too. You could do. I did change a couple colors in this just because I took from my stash and I wanted to stitch it fast. Okay, the rest I'm gonna wait because this is getting too long. We'll show those at Thanksgiving, at fall time, Christmas time, finishes. All right, purchases really quick. I totally followed Deb and Liz and got some of these spool pads. These are those silicone little trays that hold your 103s. So those are gonna go in this. And why did I buy those? Because I was getting those scissors from Hoop and Frame for my mom and dad's scissor holsters, which I'll show you the new colors here in just a second. So I decided to throw in the kit, the thread and the patterns for Harriet Goddard 1817 by Hands Across the Sea. So I'm really looking forward to stitching that. I need to get a 40 count linen for that at the attic. That's one of the things I want to kit up. It's happening. Okay. Another really cute purchase, guys, that I came by is from this company called LinenandCottonStudio. Can you see that right there? That's the shop on Etsy. And it came up as one of my suggested things I might like because I'd looked at those knitting project bags. So she's from the UK. I had this in like 5 days. It came so fast. But look at that square bottom, beautiful linen printed fabric. Little bag. That's the inside, just the plain linen that matches the outside linen. And then I just got from Kathy Lonsbury from up in Idaho, one of her cute little, she offers these on Instagram. She'll advertise for them once in a while. It's just a little zipper pull. She said you could customize or ask for a certain color fabric, so I asked for black woven, and then she puts really cute charms on a bobbin. How cute is that? Just have to show you that all together. So look her up, Kathy Lonsbury. I'll put her in the drop down box, her Instagram shop page, so you can look her up. Now my friend Sandy had another really cute thing that she showed me, and I ordered some of these off of an Etsy shop called A Vintage Parcel, and they're here in the US. That's their Instagram and Facebook information. You can screenshot that. Bloomington, Minnesota, it looks like. So Sandy had a vintage, hers was a real old-fashioned one. I think this is a reproduction of an old-fashioned post men's safety pin that they would close their big bags full of letters and things that they were delivering. But look how cute that is. So it's a great big safety pin that opens up, and guess what fits on it? Guess what fits on it? This is what Sandy had kitted up, was her Prunella threads on thread milk, and you take off the ring, which I'm really liking these rings because they don't get cut up in the holes or anything, you can just slide all of your milk caps on to these big, huge safety pins, and they are just so darling. And there it is, kitted, ready to go in your project. In fact, I'm going to leave that one in Prunella. So Sandy also had a really cute, oh, it had a little tag on the end of it. So she put one of her her cute fall needle minders on it that just blinged it up just right, and it was darling. What a cute project put together like that. So look them up. Get some of those safety pins for your thread milk or your other thread drops, whatever you want to do with those. Okay, scissor holsters. So I had someone ask, am I going to get other colors than this? This is like a natural kind of tan with the silver or the gold charm and ring on it, and of course chain. I have the silver chain and the gold chain. So I asked my dad, can I get different colors? What do you think? So of course, here he came up with some different colors. So these will be listed on the website too. You can see there's like a super dark brown, kind of a more red brown, a light brown, and then this black, which is my favorite, with this silver on it. And yes, they'll all have chains, and they'll all have that pine cone charm on them in the silver or the gold, and I will list which ones have silver or gold on them. So more colors. I told my dad I think the black is really gonna sell well, because a lot of us love wearing black, or black goes with everything, right? Depending on what colors you like to wear. But I think the dark brown is gorgeous too, and it'll have a gold chain on it. So because I was at Laundry Basket getting those teeny little scissors, I had to hurry and throw this in my cart. Cranberry Chain, because red, white, and blue. So if you go get this Cranberry Chain in the red, white, and blue, it'll tell you what to purchase for that. Sorry, throwing in a little quilting bits. So you come away with these jelly rolls and Fat Eights pack, and you need a bit of off-white or cream, sorry for the noise. So you also have to get this cotton candy pack. I don't need another red, white, and blue quilt, but that one had to come with the scissors, right? I had to throw that in. All right, I'm gonna finish up here really quick. Here's the new charts, and then I have winners on the giveaways. So the giveaways I've done were partially claimed, but not all of them, so I still have some more. So I pulled some more. Let's do the giveaways and I'll talk about the charts. So what I still have to give away is Statehood, Idaho and Delaware, and that is going to go to Anne Monceau, and then the Utah, Wyoming, Pennsylvania, and a bag of sawdust goes to Day by Day with Dana. Okay, so please email me. My email's in the Dropbox, and I can get these out to you. I still have one set of candles from Lincoln Street in Salt Lake City. Lincoln Street is a really cute shop. Emily Davis, please reach out to me. You'll get those candles. I'll get those sent to you right away. And last, I still have two dove stitch linens. One's the patriotic one, and the other one is the brown mottled one that fall stuff would be really cute on, and those go to, I'll just pick one for each of you, Dottie and Connie. Connie Rusi and Patty, sorry, not Dottie, Patty Centeno. Okay, so reach out to me in my email. I'll try to notify you too. I think that's a good idea. If I go back and comment, reply to your comment that you need to email me, and you can give me your address and I'll send those goodies out to you. Okay, so here's the new drawing for this time, plus the introduction of the new charts. So here we go. The next chart, which is, I believe, number 6, is New Jersey. It is the Garden State. And remember, I think I talked about this a little bit. When you get your chart, read the information on the state on the inside, because it explains why I put what I did in the design for the state. You know, there's obviously the year it became a state. It's 2-digit state, you know, NJ for New Jersey. It was the 3rd state. It is the Garden State, so we have a big old tomato right there in the middle. The Jersey Shore is the hugest, biggest shoreline of, what are they called? Anyway, vacation shoreline in the United States. Little teeny New Jersey has more on its shoreline, so that's why it's called the Jersey Shore. So there are some cute little waves for the shore in the ocean. Its state flower is the violet. How cute. Violets and the Garden State. And it is one of the original 13 colonies. All right, next. State number 7, or chart number 7 of the series, is New Mexico. And you'll see it on the website if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. So we lived in New Mexico. It's where I met my husband. It's where I was a nanny and met his family. I'm putting a little bit in the chart about Willa Cather's book, Willa Cather, Death Comes for the Archbishop. I read that a little while ago. I need to reread it. It was a beautiful story about the Catholic Church influence and missionary work in New Mexico before it became a state, way before it became a state. It's a beautiful read. Highly recommend it. So anyway, here's one little Catholic cross at the Mission Adobe home, a little lantern lighting the way, which are very typical homes there and in Arizona too, but haven't done Arizona yet. We'll see what goes on it. It's the 47th state. It didn't become a state until 1912. Can you believe that? Not long ago, Steph. So fun to learn this stuff, right? Its state bird is the roadrunner. And of course I had to put a red chili pepper on it because they harvest the red chilies. And in Albuquerque in particular, I'm sure it's all over the state, Santa Fe, everywhere, they make red chili wreaths at Christmas time and big bundles that are long, like really long, that you hang by your front door and by your front lights and decorate for Christmas time. So yeah, red chilies. All right, the next state, 8th, is Georgia. We bounced back to one of the original 13s for number 8. Now, this one, they're all special, you guys. I love learning everything. Of course, it's the peach state. The honeybee is its state insect. It was the 4th state. It's one of 13. This is where also Martin Luther King Jr. was born. The state motto, and he uses these words quite a bit in speeches he gave, so I had to commemorate it here on this pillow. Wisdom, justice, and moderation. So WJM for Georgia. That was a favorite. And of course I put a bunting at the top, which is just another symbol of liberty. I think because of Martin Luther King Jr. being born there, I really wanted to just enunciate that. And I was really looking forward to putting some bunting on one of these flags somewhere. Might see it again. We'll see. But how cute is that peach? I think he turned out really cute. And the tomato. These are so fun. Okay, last, number 9, California. Last meaning for this episode. California. It is the Golden State. A bear is on its flag. Its state motto, and I couldn't do a bear body. I tried, just like the flag. You're gonna get just the full face instead. And there's a star on the flag. Eureka is its state motto, which stands for Eureka, I found it, which is significant of the gold rush. So people were like, yay, I found gold, you know, eureka. So that's its state motto. It was the 31st state and didn't become a state until 1850. So I like my bear. This one has unique thread I used on it. Still using the same 3 linens for these charts. Swigart Platinum, Antique Ivory, and Raw. You could probably tell that on the New Mexico one. Here's the difference in the 3. Not a lot of difference between these two, but I had to throw that raw in there into the mix. The unique thread I used here is a new red I just found that I love. It's a Valdani. Valdani's come kind of looking like a NPI silk, the way they're wrapped with their paper around the middle. But I found this at Pine Needles up in South Jordan at Gardener's Village. And it is called, the red is called, ooh. Old Brick. I think it's Old Brick. It's on the chart. You'll see it. But look at the variegation. It has like pinks and rusts and cranberries and orange and light red. It is way cool. Way, way cool variegation. I think you'll love working with that. You can see it in the California too. The New Mexico one, you're probably asking what is it, because it had some great variegation too. This is Indian Summer by Weeks Dye Works. I hope I don't have that wrong, but it's called Indian Summer. It's a really good one too. Okay, those were so fun to make. They are ready and they are available on the website in PDF form or in paper. And I love shipping out the paper ones. It's no problem. It's very fun to see where they go to. But that'll be the giveaway. For next video will be a copy of those 4 charts. So one of each. And let's see, what word should we use that kind of encompasses all of them? This is going to be hard, but it'll be fun. Let's use the word. It doesn't encompass all of them, but let's use the word bear, B-E-A-R, for California, for that big bear. Okay, so just use the word bear in your comments. All right, FlossTube, it's been a little over an hour. A lot of good stuff, lots of fun things to talk about. I appreciate you guys so much. I love FlossTube. I love cross stitch. I hope you guys are having a blast, and I hope you're stitching while you're watching this is not too much frogging, not too much picking out or frogging, but obviously feels good and creating beautiful things. And like I said last time, love always and love big. Bye, FlossTube.